wonder, you didn't wonder, you turn my life around, give me a brand new song. Hi. Hi everyone, welcome to the last day of October. Like, can you believe it? My special month has come to an end, and I just decided that this is the best time to share the 40 things that I'm leaving behind. Okay, so today's part one. I won't have enough time to share the whole 40. So today's part one. We're just going to talk about 20 today. And maybe tomorrow I'll talk about another 20. And like I said, if you're 40 and above, don't think I've forgotten. Drop it in the comments. And if you don't have anything in mind, this should be a good reminder for you to just think about some of these things. It's good to reflect. This is something I always like to do. I've been doing it, I think, since I turned 30. For the last 10 years, I do it. And when I'm on social media, I share. I think I share 39 things I've learned. I share 38 things to expect from me. So this is something I do a lot. I like to write. I like to reflect. I like to think, especially when it's a new season, when it's a new year. All right. Because, I always believe that you shouldn't just be doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And that's why once it's a new year, I feel like, okay, what can I do differently this year? What should I be dropping behind and what should I be taking with me? And so this new season, because it's a milestone, I decided to travel light. So that's my theme for the new season or the new year that I'm getting into. I decided that my theme is to travel light. All right, is to drop a lot of unnecessary baggage and just take that one that makes sense, that one that I feel like, okay, this would help me get to this will move the needle, right? This will help me get to where I'm going. This will help me fulfill purpose. All right, it's not just about doing things for the sake of doing things. It's about asking myself now, this particular thing I'm about to do, or this thing I've been holding on to, is it really helping me get closer to my dreams, or is it just motion? Okay. So instead of saying these are the things I want to do, I decided to choose the 40 things I want to drop, I don't want to do. Okay. So the first 20, we're talking about them today. And then tomorrow we can talk about the rest. And like I said, if this inspires you in any way, if you find anyone that you're like, I think I should add this to my own list, please, you are welcome. And if there's anything I share here, because I am the queen of, sometimes I can be controversial based on my school of thought. And that's because I am very intentional about not following the bandwagon. I am very intentional about caring about who I listen to. All right. Because sometimes motivational speakers tend to take us away from how we are actually supposed to be going. So that's why some things I might share today might be a little bit unconventional. But if you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. You can still keep it and still hold on to it. But I'm definitely not holding on to it anymore. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing that I have on my list that I'm leaving behind, I'm not taking with me, is this concept of hard work, this concept of working hard. I have never really been a fan of working hard, but I'm going to be more intentional this time about dropping it and leaving it behind because it is not in our DNA. Hard work is not in our DNA. We weren't created to work hard. We were created to work, but we weren't created to work hard. So if there is no smart way of doing something, I'm not doing it. Count me out. All right. So don't tell me I have to work hard to get whatever it is I want to get. If there's no smarter way to do it, I ain't doing. It's not for me. Okay. I'm not going to spend too much time on each one. It's just for me to point it out and hopefully you might understand my point of view. Okay. So working hard is not in my DNA, it's not in our DNA. It seems to be something that has come up from a lot of efforting, from a lot of, you know, let me reference the Bible here. Like I said, the way I talk about the Bible, I don't talk about it as a religious thing. I talk about it as a spiritual text, a spiritual reference. So let me reference the Bible in the book of Genesis, where at first we were all like naked and chilling. That's how it should be, right? I'm just using that as an example. And then we sinned, right? And then in sinning, things now had to become hard. We had to work hard for things. So if you are actually saying that you have been saved, if you are saying that you're now a believer, if you're saying that you you're kind of like coming back to how you were before, then why are we still working a whole lot or working so hard to get things? The truth of the matter is, if you look at it, there are a lot of people out there who are not working as hard as you, but they have more than you. That already is the point to show you that it's not by hard work, but it's by smart work. So going forward, anything that requires hard work, please count me out. But if we need to work smart to get the same goal, then I am in, because that's really what the brain was made for. Okay. When you work so hard, it means that you are not really utilizing your brain function. And that is why we are told that we're only using like 5%, I think, of our brain capacity. So if you make it a decision that working hard will no longer be in your vocabulary, it will no longer be in your actions, it will no longer be in the things you do, then it will help you, it will motivate you to actually dig deep into that brain capacity to use as much of it as possible. Let's go to number two. Okay, number two thing I'm dropping behind in this new season is people pleasing. I'm too old. The way I talk about this, my new age, you would think I'm like a grandma, but I don't know why. I just feel suddenly like too mature. So there are a lot of things I'm kind of like, I beg, I'm too old for this. So people pleasing is something I'm dropping in this season. I'm dropping people pleasing. I don't know where that came from. I think it's from childhood, it's from upbringing, it's from the society. We were brought up to please. We are pleasing our parents, we are pleasing our teachers, we are pleasing that uncle, that auntie. We are just kind of like living our life to please others. But I feel like at this age of my life, I think I should be done with that. And if you ask me, I think you should be done with it too. So people pleasing is something I'm leaving behind. It is not part of my language anymore. So you might notice that you might tend to now start calling me someone who has changed or someone who is not nice. I'm okay with it. As long as I'm not harming anybody, as long as I'm not hurting anybody, I am good. I'm going to do things that I want. I'm going to do things that please me and please my creator above anything else and above anybody else. Okay. So people pleasing was never in the category. No, if you're a Christian, if you follow the teachings of Christ, whatever is a religion, go into it and find out if there's any place there where he said you have to please people or you have to be a people pleaser. There is none. Okay. It is a cultural thing. It is something that we kind of like we acquired. It's an acquired taste. So I have decided that this new season, people pleasing is out the door. Okay. It's not like I wouldn't care about my neighbor. I would care about my neighbor, but I wouldn't just do stuff just because I want to please my neighbor. There's a difference. So number three thing I'm dropping in this new season is competition. Competition is kind of close or related to the people pleasing part, but it has been something that kind of like has been we also acquired. There's just too much competition, right from upbringing. If you don't come first, if the person that came second, they'll still go and beat them for coming second. So there has been competition in our whatever DNA. It's like an external thing that was added to us. We weren't born that way. When born that way, you don't see a newborn who will feel bad that another newborn got food. I'm just using that as an example. All right. It's never been in us. It's something that we acquired. It's something that we kind of trained ourselves, or we were trained to be competitive. We were trained to look at the other person And I'm hoping that the new generation of parents will be able to change that mindset, or that paradigm, shift it in the new generation of children, okay, so that we no longer have to look at others or look at pleasing our parents, but to look inwards and just know that, okay, tomorrow I want to be better than I am today. That's all. I just want to be better than I was yesterday. Period. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not looking at anybody. I'm not even getting motivated. Trust me. I just want to compete with myself. I just want to make sure that I am better than I was. So everything I'm doing is just so that I get better than my yesterday. It's not so that I can be like another person, or so I can even be better than another person. No, it's just so I can be better than myself. If that's helping, like I said, drop in the comment. I would like to hear know what you think about it. And like I said, please share yours. If there's anyone that comes to your mind, like, in this my old age, I have decided to drop this, I decided to drop that, please put it in the comment. I would like to hear. My number 4 thing that I'm dropping, I'm leaving behind. Number 4 that I'm leaving behind is worry and overthinking. Worrying and overthinking, they're together. Overthinking is actually worrying. That's like another word for it, but that's really what leads to worry. All right. When you overthink, when you try to think too far in the future, you tend to worry. Okay. So it's always something that I don't know. I don't know why. I think, like I said, all these are tied together. Maybe because we're trying to compete, we're trying to please. So we just end up overthinking things. We end up thinking so much into the future. You don't have money in your pocket right now, but you are not homeless right now, but you are not even starving right now. So why are you worrying? That part in the Bible where, Christ talked about not worrying about tomorrow, that tomorrow will take care of itself. I finally understood what that meant. At first, I was thinking, does it mean we should not plan? No, no, no. He didn't say we shouldn't plan. He just said you shouldn't worry. So there's a difference, because sometimes it looks like it's a contradiction, but it's not. You can plan, but don't worry. Worry means you want to be in control of that tomorrow. You want to be certain of that tomorrow. And that doesn't help in any way, it doesn't make anything change. It just causes stress. It just gives you unnecessary stress in your body. Okay. So that is one thing I'm dropping behind. I'm not worrying anymore. I'm not overthinking things. As long as I'm okay right now, as long as I've put plans in place on how tomorrow is going to play out, if I'm granted tomorrow, I'm fine. I don't need to overthink. If I have a zero account balance, I know that tomorrow is going to take care of itself. As long as I have pound food to eat today, as long as I have a roof over my head today, as long as I'm able to show up for people, I'm good. To be honest, I'm good. So that's one thing I'm dropping. In fact, that's a big one that I'm dropping, because I noticed that worry and overthinking is really what gives us the most stress above anything else. It is worrying, overthinking that gives us the most stress. So I'm dropping that, like I'm dropping it big time. And the next one, number 5, the 5th thing I'm dropping, I'm leaving it for my 30s. As I'm entering these 40s, I'm not carrying it with me. Is judgment. Yeah. And when I say judgment, I'm not even just talking about judging others. Actually starts from self. Is self-judgment. Is judging myself. Because the truth is, if you judge yourself less, you will judge others less. If you see anyone who judges, anyone who is always quick to talk about something that is not good, to correct. In fact, I saw a quote where somebody said, my life changed the day I decided to stop correcting people who are not paying me to do so. That's when his life changed. I don't know where I got that quote. I saw it somewhere on social media, and it made so much sense. That the day his life changed was when he stopped correcting people who do not pay him to do so. So the only time I'll correct you is if you are paying me to correct you. If you're not paying me to correct you, I'm not correcting you. If you're not paying me to judge you, I'm not judging you. And so I'm also not judging myself. I make peace with the present. When you make peace with the present, you know that it has already happened, it has happened. Why are you judging yourself? Why are you judging yourself? Why are you judging others? This thing has happened, it has happened. You understand? So judgment is something that I'm really, really doing away with. How about you? You want to think about it? Or do you want to keep judging? It gives you peace. It gives you peace of mind. It even makes you in good it makes you a good neighbor, to be honest. In fact, we judge ourselves more than we judge our neighbors. Because if someone comes and tells you that they did something bad, you are usually the one to motivate them and tell them it's all good. Everything will be all right. But when you do that same thing bad, or your child does that, there's a funny quote about a lady who was, consoling her friend whose daughter got pregnant out of wedlock, you know, and then she's like, "Don't worry now, it's not the end of the world, blah, blah, blah," and then comes home and the same thing happens to her child, and she's like, "I'll kill you today." The same person that was already consoling someone else. And that's typically what happens in life. We tend to judge ourselves more than we judge others. We're even kinder to others more than we are to ourselves. So I have decided to be kind to myself. I have decided to be nice to myself in this season. So I'm dropping judgment. I don't care how bad I am. I don't care if I'm not able to do my work, because sometimes I just sit down and watch Netflix. And then I'm feeling bad. Why am I sitting down watching Netflix? I should be doing this work. I should be doing that work. I should be. We're not doing it again. If it's Netflix, I want to watch, I'll watch that Netflix. The world will not come to an end, and I'll watch it with my full chest. I'll watch it with my full chest. Okay? So that's me. Like I said, as far as I'm concerned, this life is not that hard. It's actually not that hard if you truly, truly are looking at yourself and what makes you happy instead of comparing yourself with others. It is when you compare yourself with others that you start judging yourself for the things you're naturally doing. That's usually what happens. So where are we? We're on number 5. So that's the 5th thing I'm dropping behind, which is judgment. I'm not judging my neighbors. I'm not judging my neighbors. I'm not judging myself. I'm all good, and we're all good. Okay, let's go to number 6. The number 6 thing. Now, this one is controversial. This one is unconventional, but I'm dropping it, and I mean it. And that is goal setting. The concept of goal setting, the way we have been taught to set goals. I'm leaving that behind. I'm too old for that. Some people might think that this is like a limiting belief, but like I said, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care. I'm dropping that. I want you to think. I want you to think back. Look at us when we're in school. Some people are like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a this. There is a joke where they say this one wants to be pilot, this one wants to be this one. And then 20 years later, what you're now seeing is Cakes by Dami. What you're not seeing is Makeup by Tessie. All the people with all the goals that they wrote, all the things that they wrote, at the end of the day, life is lifing. Life is lifing and life is happening. Okay. So the concept of goal setting, to me, I'm changing it. I'm dropping the typical goal setting. The 2 things I'm dropping in my goal setting. You see that thing they say, I feel like sometimes we we just want to follow a rhyme. I feel like the person that the father of goal setting, when they say smart goals, right? So the person says smart. Okay, let's make it smart. They're looking for words that rhymes. And so they now say S specific, M measurable, A achievable, R realistic, T time bound. So the person thought of, okay, let's look for the word smart and let's look for things that can connect with smart and give you goal setting. So it doesn't even matter if it's actually going against what it should be, as long as we've gotten the rhyme and then we've carried it and we are running with it. And the truth of the matter is that I don't believe that's new. This is a belief that I'm changing. I have believed that smart for a while, and I've tried it and tried it and tried it. But I noticed that it is a little bit outside of how the Lord has done it. Because there is still a part in the Bible where they say God's time is the best. So if his time is the best, why are you putting your own time? Clearly, your time is not the best. Clearly, your time is not the best. So why are you putting a time if his time is the best? And if he knows the things that you need, he knows the things that you desire. So why are we not relying on his time? Why are we relying on our time? Because that's what causes suffering. You see that T in SMART goal is the origin of sufferhead, is the origin of suffering, is the origin of heartache, is the origin of pain, is the origin of so many things. That T in SMART goal, that is the problem that we're having. You want to have a child, for example. Your T is that immediately you marry like this, you should carry belle, then by next year, bam, you born. That's the T in your goal setting. And now, once you do that, you totally forget his own time. And so you are crying. 2 years, nothing has happened, you are crying. 3 years, nothing has happened, you are crying. If you do not put the T in that goal setting, you will not cry. You give birth to a child, you put a T. This child should walk when they're 11 months. 11 months, because that's the T that you have put. Not God's time, or it's your own time that you've put. So the child is not working. You are crying. You are competing. Look at this other child is working. The child is not talking. Voila. Look at these other ones, they are talking. If not for the T in goal setting, we would have lived very happy lives as human beings. So I'm dropping that behind. I'll make my intentions known to him. I'll journal my intentions. I'll write my goals. I'll describe my goals. I'll describe the things I'm gonna do. But you see, that time, I'm not doing it again. I'm too old for that. It's high time I actually make peace with the fact that my time means nothing. It is high time that I make peace with the fact that my time means nothing. Absolutely nothing if it's not in line with his time. So why do I want to keep suffering myself? Why do I want to keep suffering myself? So I'm removing that T. That T in SMART goals. I'm removing it. I'm not moving along with it. Okay, so that is my number 6. Goal setting, dropping it behind. I'm dropping it. I'm not moving forward with it. Number 7, another controversial one, like I said. Another controversial one that I'm dropping it. And that is discipline. Yeah, discipline. Now, let me explain discipline so that to give us some kind of context. People always teachers, motivational speakers, mentors, role models, they tell us this thing. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. And then they say discipline is doing those things that you don't feel is the things you don't feel like doing, something like that. Okay? Doing the things you don't feel like doing. Do you know why discipline is a finite energy? It's like petrol or willpower. Willpower goes hand in hand with discipline. So discipline is when you use that willpower. It is because most of the time, the things we're applying discipline to is not necessarily the thing that we are called for. It's not necessarily the thing that would bring us joy. to be honest. So I'm dropping discipline. Not that I'm not going to do stuff anymore, not that I'm just going to just sit down and relax. Mm-mm. But there's something we are missing when we are holding on to discipline or willpower. There's something we are missing. And that thing is called inspiration and inspired action. Inspired action. If you listen to yourself, because I have tried it, I have tried the discipline. I've tried to. Discipline is basically forcing yourself. That's what discipline is. It's forcing yourself to do something. So you don't care whether this thing should be done or not. You're just forcing. Someone has told you you have to be disciplined. Do it, do it, do it. And so most of the times we forget the place of inspiration, we forget the place of inspired action, we forget the place of inspired thought, listening to ourselves. Think about the times that you were inspired to do something and then you just did it. You just did it and it was perfect. It was excellent. These are things me I've seen in this my old age. Not listening to some people anymore because it's even one of my lists. We'll get there. So number 7 is discipline. Like I said, people confuse it. They think, okay, that if you don't want to be disciplined, it means you're going to be lazy. You're not going to do stuff. No, we are not spending enough time with ourselves. I'm not anytime I find myself relying on discipline or willpower, I feel like it's because I'm not listening to myself anymore. I'm listening to somebody else. But when I listen to myself, I tend to do these things and I don't feel I'm doing it with willpower. And then I get the best result. That's me. That's why I said some things I'm saying may not agree with you. That's fine, totally. All right. But I'm dropping it. I'm dropping that concept of discipline and I'm replacing it with inspired action. I will listen to myself. And when I listen to myself, those things that I get inspired to do, I will do them and they will work for good for me. So that's number 7, discipline. Number 8 thing I'm dropping. Now let's go into some, practical things. The 8th thing I'm dropping in this new season is online courses. Yeah. Like I said, I'm getting old, not getting any younger. I'm not buying courses again. When I say online, I'm talking about all these online courses, all this self that you just buy. Somebody will just do marketing, and then you just buy. Then you just buy, then they'll not be playing video. You'll not be watching video. You watch video. How many? Tell yourself the truth. How many have you bought that you just watch the first video or the second video and that's it? I'm allowing you time to think because that's what I was reflecting on. So, how many courses have I bought? How many courses did I buy? How many of them did I actually finish? So, it doesn't mean I'm not investing in learning anymore, but my investment in personal development is taking a shift. So, instead of buying online courses up and down, I'll buy things that have to do with execution. So, I'm either joining coaching, I'm joining a coaching group, I'm joining a mastermind. It costs more, but that's what I'm doing this new season. I am too old to buy online course. That's something of people in their 20s and 30s, as far as I'm concerned. All right. Now is I am listening to one voice because I'm getting there. Like I said, I'm getting there. I'm listening to one voice. So if this is who is going to mentor me, or this is who I am following, or this is, I will immerse myself in whatever they're doing. If it's coaching, if it's mastermind, things that I'm getting into it to execute, not just to buy knowledge. No longer just buying knowledge. I want to immerse myself. Can you relate? The time of buying online course. So if you're marketing anything, I'm not buying. You're marketing anything there's not a mentoring thing, it's not a coaching thing, it's not an execution thing, it's not a mastermind thing. Just telling me to come and buy video. Somebody reached out to me and said, I bought one online course. And the person was like, I want to know how the progress. I said, the progress is not progressing. The progress is not progressing because we don't even have a chat room where, okay, people can share ideas. I said, it's not progressing anything. All right. So those are some of the things that made me realize that no, no, no. Mm-mm. Because remember, it's that willpower, that willpower and discipline is what you need to actually execute what you buy in an online course. So I want to connect with people like me. I want to connect with like-minded people. I want to connect with people who would kind of like show how things are done, and then we do it, we learn, we do it. So that one does not require, don't even need discipline, to be honest. All right. You will just see that you will naturally do it. So I don't need willpower for that. All right. So that is number 8. I'm dropping online. I'm not buying any online course again. So this online course, I'm not buying again. So that's number 8. Number 9. You know what I wrote in number 9? It sounds funny, but it is true. Number 9 is chasing money. Yeah. Chasing money. I wrote a book. It's going to be published soon. And it's called The 10 Commandments of Money. See this life, everything always happens for a reason. When that book is released, I will share my story on how my relationship with money changed. So I'm not chasing money anymore. I'm not like, just working, just doing this thing for money. Mm-mm. I'm not doing that anymore. I did it, I've done it for a number of time. So when I laugh when people come to me to sell something to me now, and they're telling me that, oh, people are making money. Like, you can't catch me, like you won't. So if you're marketing anything to me and your only selling point is that people are cashing out, people are making money, people are, you're just showing me money. There's this one they show me. Check, check. I'm cashing. I made this money. I made that money. If that's what you're bringing to me, thank you, but I'm not interested. So chasing money is off my list. I'm too old for that. Number 10, wrong association. Wrong association. I'm detoxing myself. I'm doing a detox of wrong associations. Any association that does not add value to me, or I don't add value to them, or it doesn't take me closer to my dreams, it doesn't help me fulfill purpose, I'm done. I don't care if you are my let me not call it. People think I'm calling them out, but I really don't care how close we are. But if you're not adding value to me anymore, or I'm not adding value to you, I'm done. So that's number 10. Wrong association, I'm done. Number 11 is another controversial one. Time management. Yeah, I'm done. Because, first of all, there's really nothing like time management. So I'm not deceiving myself anymore. So I'm replacing time management with energy management. I'm managing my energy. I'm budgeting. You know the way people budget money? People budget, time management is basically budgeting your time and allocating it to different things. No, I'm budgeting my energy. So it may look like I'll be spending a lot of time on things that to you may not make sense, but to me, it's helping my energy. So it's energy management that I'm doing, not time management. I'm just going to focus my energy on things that bring me joy. I'm focusing my energy on things that make me feel good. I'm focusing my energy. So I don't care how much time I put on it. If it makes me feel good, I'm putting energy there. So that's number 11. Scrapping time management, replacing it with energy management. Number 12 is anger and frustration. So because of how I'm managing my energy, anger, it takes a lot of energy. Frustration, it takes a lot of energy. So I'm cutting down the energy that I use to get upset. That energy that I would use to get upset, I'm cutting it off. The energy I used to feel frustrated, I'm cutting it off. It's not working, it's not working. Yeah. If it's not working, it's not working. I'll transfer my energy to something that is working, period. Like the Gen Zs will say. I'll transfer my energy to something that is working, period. Time is going. Let's hurry. Number 13 is neglecting my body. So something we've done, which I noticed that almost a lot of people, like I said, we feel like we have a lot of time. So when we're in our 20s, in our 30s, we don't see the need to take care of our body until it's too late. So this time around, it's almost like I'm even forced. See this number 13? I'm forced to throw it away. So I'm no longer neglecting my body. I'm going to focus on my body. I'm going to spend the money on me. I'm going to spend effort on me. I'm going to spend attention on me. Because if we had done it in the 20s and 30s, we'll be all good. But no, we thought we had all the time. So we neglected it. We ate anything we wanted to eat. Why? Because then I could lose weight. I just need to go to gym 2 days. I've lost all the weight. But now, hey, it is well. So neglecting my body stops immediately. Not doing that anymore. Number 14 is another controversial one, and I'm dropping it, and I'm dropping it with my full chest. And that is selflessness. You know, when they tell you have to be selfless, I have been thinking, and I'm wondering where I got that from, or where we got that from. Please, if you can remember, if you know where we got that from, selfless as some kind of virtue, please drop it in a comment. Just tell me, this is where we got selflessness as a virtue. This is where we got it from, because I want to know. Because I like I said, I was reflecting. So I went back again. I said, Shabi, I'm a Christian, right? I follow the teachings of Christ. So I went back and I said, okay, what did Christ say about this selflessness or no selflessness? And the passage that came to my mind is love your neighbor as yourself. Love God, then love your neighbor. So love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself. Because selflessness basically means thinking about yourself less. I know people say it's the opposite of selfish, but is it really? And let's even come to selfish. Is selfish really bad? Because if you look at it, the only time you call someone selfish is when they are not doing something that will please you. So they are doing something that will please them and not something that will please you. Then you say they are selfish because you want them to do something that will please you. Would that not make you selfish for wanting them to do the one that pleases you? So think about it. He said, love your neighbor as yourself, not love your neighbor more than yourself. Then, if you look again in Galatians, look at the fruit of the Spirit. I don't see selflessness there. And we understand that this is the fruit of the Spirit, meaning these are the qualities. This is the follow come of the Spirit, the follow come. I don't see selflessness there. So I'm dropping it. I'm going to love my neighbor as myself. not more than myself. So I'll first love myself. And then, now that I understand what loving myself is, then I'll love my neighbor the way I love myself. Period. Next is number number 15. Number 15 is related to chasing money, like I said. And that is I'm dropping unnecessary or excess financial investment. Excess. There are some people, and that, like I said, that comes from a scarcity mindset. Where you're like, oh, let's put it here, let's put it there, let's invest in this one, let's invest in that one, let's do. Excess financial investment, excess. So in one of the teachings, when teachings where I talked about the 10 things, there's a video I talked about the 10 things to know as an immigrant, because when I came into this country, a lot of things changed. My mindset changed. I had to change my mindset around a lot of things. And one of it is this money. So one of the things I wrote there, I said, you shouldn't eat your seed and you shouldn't plant your bread. So your income is like fruit, whether bread, fruit, whatever. I think I said you shouldn't plant your fruit, right? Yeah. So your income is like a tree. Or let me not say tree. Let's just say fruits. Let's say fruits. Okay. And inside the fruit is a seed. That's why it's called fruit of your labor. You walk. Then you get the fruit. So your income, for example, your money is a fruit. It's like a mango. And inside that mango is a seed. So the truth is, most of the time, do you notice that the seed is less than the fruit? It's usually smaller than the fruit. I know there are some fruits that have really huge seed, but as huge as the seed is, the fruit itself is still more than the seed. So the plan is, do not eat the seed. The seed is for planting, because if you eat it, how will you get another fruit? All right? But you should not also plant the fruit. How can you carry the whole mango with the seed and still plant? Why? Because you want to make more. You feel like maybe I will make more. I will harvest more. So you see people investing their school fees, investing their house rent, investing all sorts. It's a scarcity mindset. So I'm not doing excess investment. I have put plans in place. And that's why I love what I do as a financial advisor in this Canada. That thing opened my eye. I have put that plan in place. Any other money is fruit. Hey, I am chopping it. I'm chopping it. I'm eating it. How many years do you really think we have left in this life? How many years? How many years do you think you have left? Anyway, time is going. Let me continue. So that was my number 15, right? Number 15 is excessive financial investment. I'm done with that. I'm done with too much investing. Not doing. And I'm going to drop some videos about it, because this is not the day for it. But see that financial investment, I'll drop another video for it. Number 16 is resistance. I'm dropping resistance. Like too much resisting what is, fighting what is. When you're resisting what is already, it is there. That's the present. That's you are seeing it. There's nothing you can do about it. Why are you fighting it? It is the beginning of suffering. Resistance is the beginning of suffering. Okay? So resistance, I'm done. I'm not resisting anything anymore. Like, I'm not resisting. That's like I'm not judging. I won't judge myself. I won't judge others. So whatever has happened, has happened. I'm not going to be crying over spilled milk. That's happened, has happened. We move on. We move on. Oh. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not fighting anymore. So that's number 16. Number 17 is argument. Argument and resisting, they're kind of similar. Argument comes from resisting. Whenever you find yourself arguing with someone, you're resisting. So if you say what I'm saying is wrong, it's okay. That's why if you read the caption of my post, I said, you agree with some, that's fine. If you don't agree with some of the things I'm going to say, it is still fine. Totally fine. Okay? I'm not resisting. I'm not arguing. Argument is for small children because they have a lot of energy. Remember, it all boils down to energy management. I don't have that energy anymore to be arguing. I want to manage it and target it to certain things that will make sense and add value to me. So number 17, I'm dropping argument. Number 18, I'm dropping the need to learn from so many people. So if you know me, you know one of my core values is personal development. I can spend all my savings on personal development. So that has always been one of my core values. But in this new season, I think I'm old enough to know who to listen to. So before, once I'm watching, they say, click this video to watch 5 things on how to do this. I click. Then tomorrow, another person will come. I'll watch. But you see this new season, I'm listening to one voice. Maximum 2. So I pick one person in the area of spirituality. I pick one person in the area of finance. I pick one person in the area of mind and body connection. I pick one person, and I would devour, like I will follow that person, read their books, join their programs, whatever. All those, click here to watch one video by one person I don't know. In fact, as much as possible, I will go to the root. So if it's you that is talking, I will find out who is teaching you, then who is teaching that person. If I can afford that person, then I'll go to that person direct. One voice in all areas. Because we don't have time and energy to be jumping from one course to another, to be jumping from one trainer to another. So if you notice that maybe we're friends, but I haven't bought your stuff or whatever, I could buy it if I want to sponsor somebody, but I'm not putting energy there. Not because you're not good. You are called for who you're called for. I am called for who I'm called for, but I'm not listening to so many voices anymore. Okay? So that is number 18. Listening to so many voices, I'm dropping that. Number 19, unnecessary WhatsApp groups. WhatsApp group that is not adding value to my life, I'm dropping it. I'm exiting. If I can't add value to that group and that group is not adding value to me, what am I doing there? In fact, this one is also another advice for you. Okay, what are you doing there? Do you realize there's something called, it's an energy field. You might feel like, what's there? I don't even go there. But that's an energy. It's taking up space inside your heart. If you clear it, it will create space for something else to go in. So, WhatsApp group, I'm exiting. It's not adding value to me, and I'm not adding value to it. I'm leaving it. And I'll do it in the midnight so that the admin will not know. Because there's another reason some people don't like to exit groups, because they don't want to make the admin feel bad. The groups that I manage, I actually like when people exit the group, especially people who are not contributing. But if you're contributing and you exit, I'll feel bad. Then I want to talk to you that, what happened? But if you're not contributing in the group and you exit, why should I feel bad? You're not contributing. You're not adding value. So for you to exit, it means it's also not adding value to you. So why would I want you to stay somewhere that you're not getting value and you're not giving value? So that's number 19. And the last one for today, like I said, I cannot share 40 in one day. The last one that I'm dropping are things that I do not absolutely enjoy. Yeah. I'm too old for that. So don't make me do things that I don't enjoy. It's when we were young, because we are being trained, we are being groomed. So they tell you to do things you don't really love. They tell you to do things. In fact, now that I have children, I even imagine that, I can imagine this is the stress when you're making these children do things they don't even enjoy. But we have to do it so that we can build that skill. All right, so they can build the skill until they now get to a point where they can choose what they love and what they don't love. They can choose what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy. So I do things I enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, I outsource it. I'm old enough. If I don't have money, I go and look for money. I outsource the thing that I don't enjoy. I'm too old to be doing things that I don't enjoy. That's part of the hard work that I'm dropping. If there is no smart way of doing it, I'm not doing. So these are the first 20. We'll talk about the next 20 hopefully tomorrow if I have time. Hopefully tomorrow if I have time. So I want to hear from you in the comments. Maybe the one that maybe spoke to you. Even if there's one you don't agree, like I said, drop in the comments. We're totally okay. Okay, we're totally fine with it. But I like to hear from you. Don't be someone that'll just watch. Just say something in the comments. Click the like button, click the follow button, click the whatever, depending on where you're watching me. Shall contribute something. And if you're not happy, tell me you're not happy. All right? Don't allow people make you do things you don't want to do. If you don't feel good about it, say you don't feel good about it. All right. And if you don't want to click, it's okay. Don't click. All right. So that's it for today. These are the first 20. Tomorrow, I'll talk about the other 20. Some of them are similar, like I said, but I'm just sharing them as they are coming to me. So these are the 20 things that I am letting go of, doing away with, leaving behind, dropping on the wayside, because in this new season, I'm focusing on my energy, I'm focusing on my craft, I'm focusing on the things I'm good at, I'm focusing on the things I enjoy, and I'm focusing on my family, right? So that's it. Thank you. There's this lady that used to do this. I like watching her. She makes hair and then she'll end it by making them do like this. So thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow. I hope I would have time, but see you tomorrow for the part 2. Okay, cheers.